I saw this tweet this weekend that said,
It's gonna be
okay,
bad.
it said, every male selfie is a cry for help. And I
That's
was like,
me?
well, because you posted a selfie that day. I had like
Oh,
just seen it and then I switched apps. And then when, that was like the first tweet that I saw. It was
that's
like,
awesome.
it was this woman going like, why don't men post more selfies? And somebody quote tweeted it and said, every male selfie is
Mhm.
a cry for help.
I wonder what
Which,
that means.
to be honest, I get what he's saying because anytime I've seen like this, like those people that you have like on Instagram that you just like went to high school with. Anytime one of those dudes breaks up with his like longtime girlfriend, suddenly he's like posting selfies with him and the boys with a brew, man.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I just like to I don't feel like I like the way that I look all the time, so then when I finally get it to be like, "All right, this is decent," I'm like, I'll
The
post
people
it.
got to know. I
Yeah,
feel like women they definitely have the monopoly on selfies.
yeah, for sure.
Women, but I think that's just because like we value feminine beauty so much more than like we value like male beauty, I guess.
Yeah, I could see that. There's just more stock in it, like emotional stock.
Do women like it when men like I'll see a woman post a selfie and I'll be like, "Damn, that's a pretty lady."
Yeah.
But if I post a selfie, is women like, "Damn, that's a pretty boy." Man
I
would probably be more descriptive.
Yeah. From my experience, I would say they do definitely enjoy it, and that's probably why I continue to do it.
For female validation.
Well, I think if someone was like, "Damn, that ew," what if they're like, "Ew," then I probably wouldn't.
Yuck.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't continue to post.
What kind of psychos reacting to people like that, man? That always blows my
Uh,
mind
yeah,
because every now and then you'll see that, and it's like, what are you doing? That's odd behavior.
you freak. Yeah, I almost
Yeah.
feel bad honestly for the person because like to get to that point, there's a lot of steps. You don't just
It
like.
is sort of funny though to unprompted be like, damn, this guy is ugly, dude.
Yeah. Just I feel like
You
some
gotta
ruining someone's day.
yeah, you gotta have some hate in your heart.
Yeah. I will find myself doing that with I will be watching like someone's story and I'll think a mean thought that I don't even believe is true. And I have to be
Yeah.
like, why am I being like a hater right now? Like my everything's
Uh
fine. I don't know why I do that. It's like intrusive.
I think it's very human. Like we want to elevate ourselves, and like the easiest way to do that is by like comparing yourself to people that you perceive as like less, cool or intelligent or like funny or charming as you are.
Yeah, it's very weird. I feel like yeah, it's definitely a lot to do with like me. Like maybe I'm just not in a good mood or something. But yeah, social media is such a I don't know. I do not like it. Like the more that the years go by, the less I want to be like a creative like on the internet.
What do you mean by that?
Like when I first started content creation, I was like so excited to be like famous, quote unquote, and like get millions of
Oh,
views.
right.
And now it's like I almost want the opposite. Like I'm growing to be like I want to be like in my own lane, like doing my own thing without like any
Yeah.
social media, to be honest.
It is. I was actually just having this conversation about like the music industry and how like labels used to be the only way to like be a successful artist.
Hmm.
But now with the internet, obviously you don't have to just go through a label, but you basically have to like do all the work that a label was gonna do on your
Yeah.
own.
Yeah. It's changed. I mean, the landscape has changed for good and bad, for sure. I mean, I feel like I don't know if maybe you said this, but someone was saying like everyone's good at music nowadays. Like the floor
The
is like a lot
barrier to
higher.
entry is so low that like everybody like it's so easy to just look up how to play a G chord, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like that, there was a point in time, like not even that long ago, like 20 years ago, even, where
Oh yeah.
like it was hard to figure that shit out on your own. You had to like go and buy a book.
Yeah.
You know what I
Some of that
mean?
nerd shit. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
you gotta read like a fucking loser.
You have like 20 books in your background. Yeah. I was I don't know. I feel like a lot of the times like while I'm scrolling through the internet, I'll see like a trend with like the way that certain people are like judging each other. There's like always new stuff. Like I feel like I've been seeing this a lot where people will be laughing in a video and then all the comments would be like, "Wow, rich laugh." And I'm just like, what even like how do you even
I get
describe what
it.
that is though?
A rich laugh is like the kind of laugh where you're like, man, that guy really does not have shit to worry about.
Yeah, it's like there's no stress in his
Yeah,
laughter.
absolutely uninhibited.
What would you say a poor person's laugh sounds like then? Like
Like they're like
it's
no,
like
a rich person's laugh is like totally uninhibited. A poor person's laugh is just like, this is funny, but I still got shit to do tomorrow. Like,
yeah, it's
it's
temporary.
not that funny. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so funny. People are so interesting.
I
Does you
love people watching, man.
do you feel like your laugh will change over the years? Like,
I feel like my laugh changes like depending on who I'm laughing with. Like I told this joke at one point a long time ago, but I was like, yeah, when I was this was when I was dating somebody. So I told I used to say like, yeah, whenever I was still dating, I used to laugh like, haha, that's crazy. You know?
yeah.
Now
Oh
like
my
when I'm
god, dude.
in a relationship, you're like, ha 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 ha. Ah, I love you, wife.
Mhm.
You know,
That
that's
sounds
how
like
I
you're on a
laugh.
sitcom though. You know what I mean?
See that, but I feel like I hear my own laugh sometimes, and I'm like, I fucking hate that.
Really?
I think like when I was younger, definitely. Now I've
Mhm.
kind of gotten to the point where like, dude, you know,
Yeah.
fucking be be comfortable in your skin. Release your
Right.
inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin, dog.
Is that Natasha Bedingfield?
Feel the rain on your skin.
Isn't that so crazy to think like musicians back in the day like barely had any like instruments? Like it was just your voice.
Oh,
Like
what do you
you're
mean? What do you mean by that?
like you're really carrying the song because like there's not a lot of like layering to the beat and like the farther you go back in time it's like more like there's no auto tune. So like you really had to be good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, 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 totally. But also, like, I think you had to be good for sure, but also, like, you didn't have to be, like, as good. Like, Frank Sinatra,
Yeah.
right? He was not exactly, like, a great singer.
Yeah, he had a style though.
Yeah. "Fly me to
To
the
the moon.
moon."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, that's just a guy.
That's a
Like,
guy that's like pouring wine.
yeah, exactly. That guy,
Yeah.
like, works at your local Italian restaurant.
Yeah. Like it makes sense there.
Yeah. But,
Oh my
like,
god, man.
nowadays, dude, Beyonce is like fucking running Ironmans during her performances. You know
Oh,
what I
you
mean? Like she's putting
yeah.
on like a whole production. And on top of that, she's like arguably one of the best voices of our time.
Mhm. There's like
Like
so much
I
more
feel
to
like
do.
the level, especially for women musicians, if we're honest, the level of performance you need to clear is like so much higher than it was back then.
Mhm.
But I think to compensate for that, we have like a lot of other tools like audio engineering and auto tune and stuff.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just thinking about like the progression of like acting throughout the years. And like think about like the first person who tried acting. They're like,
Oh yeah.
"Dude, you're lying. Like this isn't happening."
Yeah.
Like
You're just, but like even they were just mimes, really. They were silent movies.
mimes were the first actor.
Mimes were the first actors. They were just like,
Yeah.
you know,
How long do you think you could be a mime?
like seriously?
Yeah. They're like, what if it's like,
Like
you
for
know,
money?
like
Like that's
TaskRabbit.
my primary what?
You apply on TaskRabbit. They're like, hey, we
They're
need a
just like, hey, I
mime
need a mime
for
for
my
the afternoon.
28th birthday. Here's the makeup and everything. Yeah, how long could you do it before? Because you can't break either. You cannot break as a mime.
It would be very funny though to be like done with your shift at the mime factory
Yeah.
and you're just like you're just leaning on a box that doesn't exist,
Yeah.
smoking a cigarette.
It's all air.
Yeah,
You're, like,
there's no
stressed.
cigarette, but smoke is actually coming out of your mouth.
Yo, you've been, like, holding it in there
Yeah, dude,
since
I
you
want to be a mime now.
Yeah.
How long do you think I could be? How long do I think I could be a mime? Like as a task rabbit task,
Yeah.
I probably could do like assault, like a good mime.
8 hours is, like, you get paid X
Fuck
amount.
no, I
Anything
can't
over
do it.
8 is OT.
I think I got like 2 good hours in me before they're like, I don't know if this guy's real mime.
Yeah. I'd be getting
He,
tired.
he keeps doing that box move.
Yeah. He keeps complaining
It's
about
like,
his wrist
yeah.
from the box. Yeah.
I'm just having like a silent breakdown.
Yeah. You're in a smaller box because you're stressed. You're in a jail cell. That actually hurts so bad. You're behind the host of the party and you're like, yeah. They're like,
Dude, a mime who's like fucking losing it is crazy.
it's
That
his
is,
last day.
oh my god.
It's his last day. He's just
I actually
not
want to
wanting to
write
be
that
there.
down. That's like actually a very funny short film or a very
Yeah.
dramatic short film, depending on the tone.
Every time the host leaves the room, he's like, oh.
People are like, so Jeremy, you decided not to do a stripper? Yeah, I don't know, man. The mime thing kind of
But
really spoke to me.
we all pitched in for for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I just
like
know it's cool, dude. It's cool. It's just
TaskRabbit was having a sale.
I wasn't expecting a mime. You know, like,
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
friends are like trying to be supportive, but it's so weird.
Yeah.
The whole time you're like,
I don't think he's having a good time. What do you
yeah,
mean?
how much do you pay this guy?
Oh, that's so funny. That
A mime
hurts.
who's like describing killing himself. He's like hanging in an invisible rope.
Yeah, he's really like unraveling it. He steps on an invisible
Holy
box.
shit. He's just hanging in the air.
Oh,
Oh man.
I would
Dude,
probably go to that party.
that is I feel like I have to write that. There's like there's a horror short or like a maybe like a comedy there.
Yeah, quick one.
There's something there.
Oh man. Probably Key and Peele of they probably made a version of everything at this
Oh
point.
yeah. Yeah, there's probably somebody's had to have done that.
Yeah.
God, that's funny. Do you like clowns?
I remember when there was actually like a clown trend. I don't even know what you would call it.
Yeah, what the fuck was up with that? There was just like clowns
Yeah.
out in like the wild and people were like, there's a silly looking man walking around with a knife,
Yeah. And they wouldn't do
like
anything. They just wanted to like stand there. It's
clown
like
around.
this guy had to get dressed for 30 minutes and make the
Yeah.
decision to wait for a car to drive
Yeah.
up in the middle of like a cornfield. Like the dedication is crazy.
You know what clowns make me think of? And this is gonna sound like a dunk, but I this is sincere. Clowns make me think of goth people. Cause like
Yeah.
goth people really have like a look, right? An aesthetic that personally I'm into.
Oh yeah.
Um, but it's a lot of shit to do every morning. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Especially like the goth girlies who like do the makeup. Like goth guys, you just gotta wear some cool boots and like crop a t-shirt.
An
You know what I mean?
eyeliner or
And
shadow
like
or
maybe
something.
wear some fishnets or something. But
Yeah.
like goth girlies, you gotta get like at least 4 face piercings and like you gotta dye your hair and you gotta
Yeah.
like either commit to like real sharp eyebrows or real thin eyebrows and then you gotta do the makeup and it just seems like a lot. I kind of
Yeah.
appreciate that.
That's actual commitment.
Yeah.
And then you
Although
have
I kind of feel
clowns.
like I feel like it's hard to be goth and also be a nurse. You know what I mean?
How so?
I don't think I've ever seen a goth nurse. At least not on the clock.
Right. That's definitely like a shift thing. That's like a
Yeah.
yeah.
That do you think there's like a goth nurse or like a goth gym trainer
I love how you're
who
just describing to me like one of your fantasies at this point.
I a little bit actually.
Like, what if I'm
But
like in a room like waiting
yeah.
blindfolded? Like,
What if I'm a mime,
yeah, I was just
right?
gonna
I'm
say
stuck I'm stuck I'm tied to a bed with invisible ropes.
that. What about like the goth nurse though? Yeah.
Dude, there's something so fucking funny about a mime. Like really
In a straitjacket. Actually hurts.
oh my god, dude. Oh, your camera. I think it's because I went to the they gave me like this antibacterial mouthwash after I got my wisdom teeth removed. And
Mhm.
I feel like that shit stripped my teeth of like all of their power.
Yeah. I don't but is it supposed to be good? They know what they're doing, right?
I don't know. I maybe used too much of it for too long.
Are you
Because I was
drinking
also
it?
like yeah, I just throw a little in my coffee every morning.
Yeah. Little what is it called again?
A little hair to the dog.
No, the actual stuff.
Oh, antibacterial mouthwash.
On the rocks.
Yeah.
What kind of psycho goes to the bar and asks for that?
Yeah. What do you order at the bar? I feel like it's kind of like I kind of want to be like the cool guy every time I go to a bar, especially because I dated a bartender
Mhm.
and she taught me a lot. But I don't know, man. There's I don't know.
I don't care. This is the thing. I since the day that I started drinking, I have not cared, new word. I've not cared what other people think about like fruity drinks or whatever. Like I just get
Oh
literally
yeah.
what makes me have a good time. So if I go to a bar and order a drink, I'm like, what's gonna taste the best? Like that's like my only goal.
Yeah. I usually do like a whiskey sour or something.
Whiskey sour. Those are pretty good. I usually
Yeah.
get like a Long Island maybe or like dude, I don't even know. I barely go to the bar, so I don't even know like names of drinks have kind of just like entered like my back lobe, whatever
Yeah.
that is.
The back lobe.
Yeah, they get your frontal and your backle.
Yeah,
My
got all
surgeon
that
be like,
information locked up in my backal lobe.
yeah. Do you know all the parts of the brain? Like, could you name like the main components?
There's your prefrontal cortex, your
Nice.
the brain stem, uh, the frontal lobe, the backal lobe,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, and then
Passed.
left and right hemispheres. Like I think
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
You know
mean,
what's so fucking crazy is I don't know if this is maybe just I've watched too many movies, but like when they're doing brain surgery on you, they keep you awake because they need to know that what they're doing to your fucking brain is not like irrevocably harming you. So they'll keep you awake and they'll have you like say the alphabet or something.
no
They'll like
way.
have you talk. I don't know if that's true or maybe I just like watched a movie and I was like, "Yep, that's what happens."
Yeah, they don't even numb them. You're like, they don't numb you either.
Yeah.
Ow.
They just give you a shot of tequila and they're like, "You're gonna fucking want to relax.
Yeah.
Try not to squirm too much. I'm gonna be digging around in your brain."
Oh my god, dude. I just can't even imagine surgeries and stuff like
That
that.
sounds wrong. There's no way they keep you away. I want to retract what I just said. There's no shot they keep you awake. That sounds wrong.
Where did you hear that?
I don't know. Like,
Don't
I
you
don't.
wish that
I
guys
didn't
that
even really think about sharing that.
don't you wish that guys that like came up to you and said random facts like that like admitted that they didn't know where they got it from?
Yeah, but I get it though. Sometimes it's fun to lie to people.
What's like the What's the biggest lie you could tell somebody that's still, like, okay?
The wrong name. That's always a fun one
Yeah,
because it hurts nobody.
right. What's like
And then you start dating for like 6 months, and she's like, "Your name is not Austin."
Yeah. We named our
I
kid after him.
actually, yeah, I actually, when I was a kid, my older cousin was dating this guy for a while, for like months, and his name was Logan, and uh, he would like not even months, years. He came to like multiple like family holidays,
Mhm.
and one like I don't know how it came out, but somebody was like, "Wait, Logan is your last name?"
Mm.
And he was like, "Yeah, my first name is like Shannon."
Wow.
Yeah, right? Or something like that. It was like, "The fuck? Your name is
Debunked.
Logan, dude."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was everyone's reaction? They're just like, "I don't even know you."
The my cousin, the woman who was dating him, didn't even call him by his first. She called him by his last name.
Maybe that was like a conversation they had early on, because like
Well, I think that's like she met him like through other people, and
mhm,
like they called him Logan.
like, no one calls you Daniel.
Yeah, or D'Anthony.
Yeah. Or Cameronian.
Yeah. Yeah, that is actually true. Like if I don't know, I feel like I wish I had a nickname. I guess I do have a nickname because nobody calls me Cameron, you know,
Just Cam.
Cam most of the time. But like, what if my nickname was like Shark, you know, or like or like the Magnifier, or like
That's just such a
s-
long that's so many syllables for a
it's too many
nickname.
syllables. That's true. Yeah,
The
anything that's
magnifier.
longer than your actual name, it's a
Yeah.
hard sell.
That is kind of a fun, like, bit to run on people, though. Like, "My name's
Yeah,
Mike, but call me, like, Gargantuan
the
the 3rd."
yeah the unintelligible.
Right. Call me Backle Lobe.
Okay, yeah, call me prefrontal cortex.
That you have to be smart if that's your name. Like, you cannot be an idiot and be called I mean, maybe you could, that's actually kind of ironic.
Yeah. How do you get a nickname? Like a you gotta be friends with cool people. Cause like you can't give yourself it. Although it would be maybe I should just move to a new city and be like, yeah, name's Cam, but everybody just calls me like Boots. Cause I speak Spanish.
Boots.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think it would get to a point though where you're like annoyed at yourself because you're like, why did I say
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Boots. Boots. Oh fuck me.
Oh,
Huh? Yeah.
damn it! I should have brainstormed.
Yeah, I feel I do kind of want to like I kind of want to move to a new city and just introduce myself as like some other nickname, but like I can't think of a good one. Especially one that's like you want something that's like cool and like sort of hot, you know?
Yeah,
Like what's a good nickname to give yourself? Like but like people don't know you.
stud.
Yeah, but yeah.
But like
Stud is pretty good.
just something. I think you have to have something that's like quick and like
Yeah.
effortless.
It's got to come out like real quick.
Yeah, you can't go like thumb.
Yeah. This is already yeah.
For thumb.
What is fuck, dude? Okay, now I'm stuck on this. We got to find a good nickname for me for when I move to a new city and then start introducing myself to people.
Ooh, you know what's kind of cool? It's 2 syllables though.
What is it?
XP, like experience points.
Yeah, but
It
I
sounds
feel
like
like
an
that's gonna be
agent.
hard to like explain to the hyenas. She's like XP, like you pee on people.
I used to
Like I
X.
used to, yeah. Not
um,
anymore.
I'm just like
That,
looking at
that was my old
objects.
life.
Yeah, LED, LED.
What about hands? It's kind of gross. You're like,
Maybe.
it's like, are you gonna touch me? Yeah,
Why are you close to me?
maybe.
Hands.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What
I
about
Do you think it's better?
chef?
Is it better to go, okay, if you're creating a nickname for yourself? Is it better to go with an object or like say a verb, like an
I feel
action,
like it's got to be something that like says something about yourself. Like there's got to be like, yeah, there's a story there.
like you earned it?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. This is why I don't have a nickname because I'm like looking around. I think
I
it'd be
I
cool. I was gonna
I
say,
knew this girl who her name was Cielo, which means sky in
mhm.
Spanish, and I just called her Sky. It's kind of a nickname. Although I found out like after 2 years of being friends with her that she did not like that. And I was like,
Oh,
why didn't you tell me? I would have stopped calling you that like immediately."
yeah. I'm the type of person where if I don't like something that's happening, I immediately bring it up. So there's always transparency, like with me and whoever.
Yeah.
Just because of that is like my worst nightmare with somebody.
Cuz like the reason it even came up was like I called her Sky for a long time and like other people also called her Sky.
Yeah.
And I overheard a conversation she was having with somebody else completely like outside of me. She was like, "Yeah, I don't like when people call me Sky." And I was like, "What the I've been calling you Sky for like 2 years. Why didn't like
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
I felt bad, but also I was like, I mean, this is kind of on you,
Yeah. What did they actually like being called?
Cielo,
Oh, okay, I got you.
like our actual
That's a
names.
cool name too. Like that's weird to me that
Cielo is a cool name.
I would like instantly be like, my name's cooler than what they're calling me. Why don't they just call me,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
guess that's true.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like some people have like a natural like act for like coming up with nicknames for people. Like it's something that happened, like a moment.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever really given my friends nicknames. Like I just call them like I don't know. I don't really put too much like I don't put too much backle lobe into that.
I'll do like the rhyming thing.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Like is if it isn't Mike always on time coming along with his bike, he doesn't like his trike, it's Mike. You know, like you just throw a bunch of rhymes after like somebody's name.
And then what happens?
Then they're like, please stop doing that.
And then the moment's
Then
over.
you get kicked out of the library.
Yeah. Then then your life is kind of like in a downward spiral. But
Yeah, then the girls that you were talking to are like, I'm gonna go find my friends.
that's sad.
I
That just got sad.
got never mind.
Um,
Have you ever been hit with that? I'm gonna go find my friends.
I'm sure it's probably happened. Not like there's not like a noticeable moment because I think I've always been in my head my whole life where I don't want to like be like not annoying, but I don't want to be there when I'm not wanted. Like I want to be there
Yeah.
just the right amount of time because I've been around people that just have no clue. They're not even on that plane, and I just feel bad.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know. Part of me is always just like, man, if they don't want me here, that's fucking on them. You know, you guys got to figure that shit out. I'm having fun.
You
You
guys got to
know?
figure that out, and you're just behind them,
Yeah.
like walking.
No, I don't know. Like, I guess because I've definitely had like those moments of insecurity where you're like, I'll give you a recent example. I
Mhm,
got hired at this job like about a year and a half ago, and there was like the group of people that I'm like my primary friend group at this job.
mhm,
They were all already friends, right? And
right.
I knew one of them already, but like early on, I felt like pretty insecure about like, oh man, these guys are all friends already, and like I don't want to be like the guy who's like trying to get into the friend group and like they just have like a separate group chat without me where they're just like ah fucking, you know what I
KO.
mean?
Dressed like a dad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I feel like even if they currently have a separate group chat without me, it's just like whatever,
whatever.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got to I think you got to like make your peace with that shit and like be comfortable with it.
yeah. I think I'm definitely more conscious about it when with like dating or like I would say because you asked me like about that moment of like I'm gonna go with my friends. I feel like that's more of like a bar scene situation, like where you're
Yeah.
approaching somebody you don't know. And I feel
Yeah.
like in those moments, it's For me, I just would never approach people in the bar. That's just, like, not a place that I would be, like, looking to do that.
Yeah, it is always like the cold approach when it comes to dating is like it's odd. It's weird. Like
Mhm,
I approach women in bars honestly all the time,
mhm.
but like never as like a dating thing, never like as a serious dating
Right,
thing.
right.
More like just like, hey, I want to talk to this person.
Socially, yeah.
Yeah. Um like I remember I was at a wine bar in like Echo Park and I was
Mhm,
just like, this woman is pretty. She's sitting alone. I'm gonna go up to her and talk to her. And I just was like, excuse me, I think you're really pretty. And then we just talked for like a couple minutes and I was like, all right, have a good night. And I just left. And I
mhm.
feel like doing shit like that, that makes me when I do want to approach somebody that I'm like interested in, I feel like that makes it like so much more like less nerve wracking. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because realistically, if you're cold approaching people, I don't know. That's just like kind of boring to me.
Like, with an intention of, like, getting something out of
Like
it?
to like date somebody, I feel like
Yeah.
you know she's pretty. What else do you know? Like
Mhm.
you could find something to talk about, but like I feel like it's always better to like get to know a friend of a friend or something.
Always. Yeah, if you're gonna take it serious, for sure.
Yeah. I guess like maybe a dating app too. I feel like that's what most people are doing these days.
Yeah, most people are on, like, Hinge now. I see a lot of memes about, like, Hinge and stuff.
Dude, Hinge is trying to get my ass. They're trying to like they're pulling out like the CIA like army recruiters on me right now.
They're like, "Did you eat
Like
tacos? You might wanna share some with Bethany on Hinge."
yeah, yeah. They're like coming to my like there's like a you remember when you're in high school and like the army recruiter comes to
Yeah.
your class and is like, come to you want to go to Afghanistan?
Do some
You
pull-ups.
know? Yeah. I
Oots,
feel
oots,
like
oots, oots.
Hinge is like trying to figure out how they could send that guy to my job. Cause I'm getting hit with
Mm,
so many Hinge ads right now.
yeah. What's your, like, thought? You're just like, "No."
I just feel like it's like I have no desire to be on a dating app. It seems like it would be fucking awful for my self-esteem and
Yeah.
like my mental health.
Yeah. I yeah, I don't know. I totally get why people are on them. If I, like, end up meeting somebody that was, like, on one, I just, like I'm just like, "I don't even wanna know." Like, if you were on it or not. Not that it does anything, but it's just like, I don't know. I just those things are just they're like their own it's like a safari zone in Pokemon. It's just like you don't know what you're gonna get into when you're on a dating app. Like, you can meet anybody. Like, you can
I'm
meet
not following the analogy.
like, you're entering, like, a different game mode of, like, dating. Like, because
Oh,
when you
yes.
go into the
Yes.
safari zone, the goal is to, like there's a challenge
Yeah.
to, like,
Different rules
accomplish.
entirely.
Yeah, and when you go onto a dating app, it's like, "Alright, you guys are here to meet other people,"
Uh-huh.
and it's just like, I don't know. It's such a, like, direct thing when I feel like out in the world, it's just so much more natural, and that's what I like, because
Yeah.
you can get a feel for somebody, and there's not this pressure of, like, "Oh, I have to message you. You have to message you. Who how many people have liked you? How many people," like you said, with self-esteem, like, there's so many mental gymnastics that you go through before you even
Yeah.
go on the first date.
And that's even like not even talking about like all the algorithms that are like getting
Yeah.
in the way of that whole process as well.
Right. And I feel like it's a good option for people that are, like, interested and they really wanna put themselves out there. Because without it, it is a lot harder. Um, not in, like, a, "Oh, I can't do it" way, but it's just, like, you have to put more effort. With an app, it's just, like, in your hand and you're, like, meeting people, and you can, like, read a bunch about them and, like, know all these facts about them, like interests, hobbies, what they look like, their friend group, everything, location. Like, "Oh, you live kinda close to my area." If you're going out into the real world, you're basically, like, it's almost like a blind date in a way, because you don't
There's
even
a
know if the
lot of
person
variables.
is single. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I was in a big group of people at a bar, like a couple of weeks ago,
Mhm.
and um, like there was a big group of women that I was like hanging out with, right? I didn't know all I actually didn't know like most of them, but like
Mhm.
it's all friends of friends and like everybody knew somebody um one of those situations.
Right.
And I was listening to all these women talk to each other and talking about like dating and stuff.
Mhm.
And one of them was telling this story about how, or not even a story, she basically was talking about like her pickup line, which was like going up to somebody and being like, hey, did I match with you on Hinge or Bumble or whatever?
Mhm.
Which great fucking pickup line for a couple of reasons. One, it tells the guy, hey, if I saw your profile, I would be into you.
Mhm.
And so many guys are gonna be like, yeah, maybe,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, but it is also like high risk, high reward. Cause like I would just be like, nah, I'm not on Hinge, sorry. Anyway,
Right, just completely shut down the opportunity.
yeah. But it's also like one of those things. It's like as the guy, it does put the ball in your court where you, even if you like say no, you could just be like, no, but I mean, I'm right here, you know.
Mhm. You can
Let's
swipe right
run through
now.
let's run through your profile, read
Yeah,
me the bio.
just pull out a resume.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a really good idea. I think if a guide were to do that, I
That's
don't
a
know.
harder sell. That's
It
a
is.
much harder sell.
I feel like it just completely changes the tone of things. You're like, "No, I'm not, you creep." Like,
Yeah, yeah.
just instantly 180.
Yeah. We're actually just here, like her friends.
Yeah. Dating is so interesting, man.
It's fun.
It is fun. It's it's funny how like you go through all these different stages in your life of like wanting a relationship to not wanting one to XYZ. Like I feel
Yeah.
like for me there was definitely a big portion where I was just like not wanting a relationship. And I was always open and honest with people that I was dating at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, I'm interested in hanging out with you and getting to know you and stuff, but just so you know, like I'm not really looking to make like anything official or be in like a committed relationship at this point in time because of X, Y, and Z, like whatever I have going on."
What is the reason? What was the reason?
It was probably just like one of those things where I like felt really young. So I was just like, I want to just keep
Yeah.
experience. I want to feel like I can always be
Yeah.
experienced. Cause like the thought of commitment felt like it was stopping me from doing something for some
Yeah,
weird
like you were gonna
reason.
miss out on like new
Yeah.
experiences if you commit to like a relationship.
Yeah. And that's like changed for me in the last couple of years.
That
But
perspective or really?
yeah, I felt like it was very strong like 3-ish, 4-ish years ago. And I feel like now it's like I wouldn't mind settling down with somebody. Um,
Do you view it as settling down? Or is that just like a
uh,
turn of phrase?
Probably a turn of phrase,
Uh-huh.
I guess, because I don't know. Relationships like to there's so many like different variables to like really be like, all right, this is the person. And
Yeah.
it's not even like a oh, I have a high like expectation like because I know that everybody has flaws or whatever, and stuff, but it's more so just like
Not me.
really it's more so just like really connecting with somebody on like a lot of different like aspects.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Like when people ask like what are your red flags or what are your deal breakers, I honestly kind of hate answering those questions because someone could technically have one, but it's like not very intense. So it's really not a deal breaker.
Give me an example of that.
Like if somebody was like liked going out, but like they're not like massively it doesn't consume their life. They just like to go out every now and then or smoking or whatever. Like there's like
Yeah.
certain things where there's like a gauge for me
Uh-huh.
and I'm not like a black and white no or yes, this is like a deal breaker all the time. Cuz there's a lot of
Mhm.
times where I might let something be fine because I really like the person. Cuz there's like so many things in a person, like so many like ways to connect with somebody and like things that they like and you like in perspectives, like it's hard to be like you all of these things line up. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I think one of the things that I've like been seeing, maybe just because like I'm finally coming hip to it, is the whole attachment style thing.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started.
Well, oh, well, you
No,
have thoughts about this?
I know. Or you can go on with what you're saying. You
No,
just,
no, no. I'm interested to hear, like, because that's an interesting reaction to have.
I mean, what were you gonna say? And then I'll give feedback
I
based on
was
what you
gonna
say.
say that I've heard that phrase like thrown around a lot for like years at this point,
Yeah.
and I've had like various partners tell me like I'm this attachment style or I'm that attachment style.
Hmm.
Usually they tell me I'm an avoidant attachment style. Um, and like I took like one online quiz like years ago, and I was like, yeah, I'm secure, fucking whatever, dude.
Yeah.
And but recently, like the whole reason why it even like sort of has some legitimacy in my mind at this point is
Hmm.
because I was talking to my therapist about like relationships and dating, and I was telling her like, yeah, uh I felt really close to this one person, and it just felt like suddenly I just like needed to get away because it just felt like basically exactly what you said, like I was going to miss out on my life
Hmm.
because I was going to get stuck in a relationship.
Yeah.
And she recommended like a book to me, and it's basically the book that like really brought attachment styles like into the zeitgeist and the mainstream, I guess.
Hmm.
But so what's you clearly have a lot of feelings about this.
I've just experienced it where, because I haven't taken a test, I haven't talked to a therapist, but I've been told that I'm very secure attachment style.
You strike me as that guy.
Um, and trying to make things work with someone who doesn't have secure can be very challenging. And I smiled because I've just been through that multiple times. So
Yeah.
I understand.
Although I think that might also be an example of like uh people using therapy speak to just like justify shitty behavior.
Mm.
You remember a while back when that whole all that shit with Jonah Hill came out,
Oh
where
yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
like texting his like surfer girlfriend about like I don't like you wearing that bikini, like hanging out
Hmm.
with these guys or whatever. And
Yeah.
like the language he was using was very much like therapy speak, but like the content of what he was saying was like really just like not appropriate.
Hmm.
I feel like this might the whole attachment style conversation might also be falling into that realm.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely could. I mean, but it's also just like, regardless if it's an attachment style or just not good behavior, like it still needs to be addressed because it potentially can wreck a lot of things.
What you're saying is like you can't just blame your behavior on whatever your attachment style is. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I just feels like, because I'm not invalidating like someone's experience, because I understand like there are a lot
Yeah.
of up.
You don't have to, I mean, you don't have to justify what you're saying or like any I'm on your team right here, man. Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah, it's, I
like what do you
mean,
mean?
no, I'm just saying like I feel like there is sometimes a lack of initiative when it comes to like fixing or working towards like a better end goal when there's like a deficiency because of like an attachment style. So I feel like if there's an issue, it should be
Right.
addressed and there should be like some plan rather than just saying it is what it is. I know I have to work on this. It's done. Because it's
Uh-huh.
like we're at a standby and it's like, what, you're not going to get anywhere if you
Yeah,
just,
what are your action steps actually
yeah, it's like
like
an
to
endless
to
cycle.
address this?
Exactly.
Are you a planner?
Mm, yes and no. I mean, like what would be like an example?
Like do you feel like you need to have goals in a relationship?
Honestly, it's weird because in my like work life, I have to have structure. I have to be
Uh-huh.
like to-do lists. I need to know like calendar. When am I getting to this?
Yeah.
Here's my goal. In a relationship, a lot of the times I'm just like, whatever. Like whatever happens. I know I like being with you. And if I know that person is 100% in and I'm 100% in, like if we're both committed to, then I'm down to move to the next step. But I'm not gonna like plan stuff because I think sometimes that adds pressure and an expectation. And like if there's one thing I've learned in relationships, it's like expectations are a lot of the times not met. Um,
See, it's so interesting because we have like sort of a flipped dynamic
mhm,
where I'm very much in my day-to-day life just to like go with the flow, I'll figure it out kind of person.
mhm,
But when it comes to relationships, as I've gotten older, I've realized like I need to be more planning, you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Otherwise, I will treat my relationship like the rest of my life and I just like won't really I guess take any initiative and like and like really planning and making like things special for like a partner.
mhm. I definitely will plan stuff if I'm. It really depends. Like the context of this conversation really depends. If I'm with somebody that is like, I want to be with you, I see a future with you, then yes, there will be like always stuff planned. There's a goal. And I guess I'm just going based off my experiences sometimes where it's like there isn't really like a defined what is this? Like it's like a situationship sometimes. And it's like, how do you plan a goal for that when you don't even know like if you're gonna be together? So I guess that's like the go with the flow mode.
I feel like our generation is so afraid of defining relationships,
Mm-hmm. 100%.
like myself included, to be fair. But I think as I've gotten older, I'm much more comfortable saying like, yeah, like we're dating. We might not be exclusive right now, but like we've been going on dates. I would say I'm like dating you,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like just doing that has like really helped clarify and clear up intention and like
Yeah.
because if you're just like hanging out
Right.
for a while, like she doesn't like her friends are asking her like what's going on, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't know. I feel like um when you're the guy who's just like let's not define this, I don't like labels. Like there's a whole stereotype around that,
For
man.
sure.
Like you need to you got to be comfortable saying like, we're dating. I don't want to be exclusive right now. I'm not open to being exclusive. In the future, I might be open to being exclusive, or I want to be exclusive with you. I want you to be my girlfriend. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that is not really a conversation that like we as a generation have that often.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think, I mean, I think that would help a lot, like with clarity for sure. In my personal experience, a lot of my relationships have been long distance.
Hmm.
So it complicates things to a whole new level with just like figuring out what's next. And I think that's why in person makes things a lot more clear because you're like physically with the person. So they could be like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's easier to communicate that in that way because it's just like you're here and we're hanging out. So like obviously we're like dating.
I can't even really. I don't know, dude. I've done like some long distance relationships, but it is
Yes.
so hard to navigate.
I know. Wouldn't recommend.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Well, I
recommend.
mean, I don't know how this turned into a dating podcast, but like
Yeah.
we got caught up in that a little bit.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna be a mime.
Yeah. Do you think if a girl was a mime, is that is that a red flag or is that a deal breaker or is that maybe something that's like, yeah, she's quirky.
She's a
She's fun and quirky. She's
she's
different.
she's a silent actor.
Yeah.
How do you
I
categorize that?
love I love just like whenever there's something different or like maybe even a little bit of a red flag when you're dating somebody early on, you could really, really justify it in your mind.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, like,
like
you
if
make
I
it
was
okay.
dating a girl and she was like, "Yeah, I'm a mime," I'd be like, "She's creative," you know?
Yeah. She loves her work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
She's so
mean,
expressive.
very consistent with her style.
Yeah. She's a great communicator.
She does her makeup really well. It might be white face, but it looks, it's for the
Yeah.
job.
There's 5 years left and then mimes become racist
She'll be trending on
against
Twitter in
white
5
people.
years, but we won't last that long.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You might be wondering why my camera's all messed up. It's because it broke. But thank you guys for watching episode 24. We'll see you in the next week.